Hello, I'm Frost, and welcome to my mid-month update on stuff that's going on in the world of sci-fi gaming. Welcome back, and as usual, I have a whole bunch of new stuff to report on. The first thing I'm going to start with is Dual Universe. You may have seen my video recently called Dual Universe 2 weeks into beta, Is It For You? In which I quite plainly put out that the game was having some major issues, mainly to do with logins and also playability. I want to bring this up to date now, and I have already pinned a comment in the video. The things have drastically improved. The first couple of weeks were really rough, but I have to say, NovaQuark, the developers, kind of really knuckled down and have managed to do a great deal of improvements, primarily with regards to the gameplay and the login. I've now been playing the last week pretty much every day, putting in a few hours at different times of the day as well to get a good feel for the game and what's going on. And the login times are now great. You can generally just log in straight away. Maybe if there's a bit of a server hiccup, then there's a queue, but it's literally just a minute or two. It's nothing like the 45 minutes that we were getting in the past. So some massive improvements there. Game stability has come along a great deal as well. And so things are looking good. And clearly they've got their priorities right at the moment. You know, they're just making sure the game is stable, fixing the kind of the worst bugs and any potential exploits. Those are getting dealt with. And then obviously hopefully we will then be able to move on to kind of new features being brought in. But just wanted to bring you up to date on Dual Universe. Now, we're going to move on to new releases. Halo 3 ODST has been announced for the PC, and that will be coming out on the 22nd of September. So part of continuing the Master Chief Collection. Now, as you know, we're going to have to wait for Halo Infinite. That is not going to be coming out at the same time as the Xbox is released in November. So at least we're getting the continuation of the Halo releases for Master Chief Collection. And if you like your first-person shooters, and then clearly Halo 3 is right up there. This obviously includes what we came to know from Halo 3 ODST, which is the Firefight mode, which is co-op against waves of AI. So there you go, Halo 3. Now, next up, we have a new DLC that has been announced. Actually, there's two DLCs to be exact. So this is for Battlestar Galactica Deadlock. And Battlestar Galactica Deadlock is getting the Armistice DLC, which is going to give us 8 new story missions, 9 resource missions, and also 3 new music tracks. And then there is another DLC, which is actually called the Modern Ships Pack. And this is going to provide 3 new colonial ships and 3 new Cylon ships. Then we also have a free update that's coming at the same time as the release of the 2 DLCs, which is the 24th of September. And in the free update called Daybreak, we are getting a photo mode. There's going to be the ability to, in multiplayer, to have an increased fleet cap. So that means you can go up to 10 ships now and up to 16,000 points. And there's some new multiplayer modes, and on top of that, they've also thrown in a balance pass. So this looks like a good update from Battlestar Galactica, and I believe it is the end of the 2nd season for the DLC updates. But I would imagine that it's going to keep going. It's a very popular game. And if you need to know whether you want to know more about Battlestar Galactica Deadlock, I have done an Is It For You video, and it's in the channels under the playlist Is It For You. So go check it out. Then we come on to announcements. So Avorion, which is the co-op sci-fi sandbox game, has got a new DLC, and that has been announced, and it's going to be coming fall 2020, so hopefully before the end of the year sometime, and it is called Black Market. This DLC is going to bring docking, it's going to bring the ability to trade stolen goods. Hacking is also now a feature of Avorion DLC. There's going to be some new events, some new missions and bosses, and finally there will also be some new weapons. Then we've got an announcement for a game which I've mentioned in the past. We now have a release date for it. This is Ghostrunner. And Ghostrunner is, the best way to describe it, I think, is a cyberpunk ninja first-person shooter. You run around with a dirty great big samurai swords, chopping people to bits. It's pretty gory, pretty much full-on action. And that is now coming to us on the 27th of October. And I believe there is going to be a new demo that's going to be released on the 29th of September as well. So I'd assume that will be available on Steam. And that will be coming to PC, PS4 and Xbox. And then this is a game that was, I think, announced at Gamescom last year, but it's called Boundary. Once again, we've got a first-person sort of shooter game. This one is set in 0G. It is multiplayer, and it's based around space stations. And as you can see from the trailer, it is pretty much full-on. Obviously, this takes sort of the CSGO kind of mentality, but puts it into 0G. Obviously, the space stations are going to give you sort of places to get cover around and so forth, and to fly through corridors, all this kind of good stuff. And you're going to get different roles that you can take on. So you can get the all-rounder, you can get the sniper, you can get one that can shoot using EWAR. So yeah, looks really interesting, looks really exciting, and it has now been confirmed by the developers that it's coming before the end of the year. So that's one to look out for if you like your action-packed shooters. Then we're going to come on to other news. What we're going to start with actually is Star Wars Squadrons. The hype continues. They have released a short film called Hunted. It's about 5 minutes long, and it's a great little story. And I think it does a great job of really boosting the hype. It gives you the perspective of a TIE fighter pilot being involved in a one-on-one skirmish. So I highly recommend you watch that. And this seems like a very good time to mention as well that we now created another channel called Frosty's OP Trailers, and all of the trailers that we can get hold of, that we can just show you, we've now put in the channel. I have linked it in the description below. So if you want to see all the trailers that I'm mentioning in my various updates, then go check out Frosty's OP Trailers, subscribe, and then you'll get news of the trailers as soon as they're uploaded. Right, then Night City Wire. On my previous update, I said that this looked like it was going to be releasing during the Tokyo Game Show, which was the 28th of September. We now know that is not the case. It has been brought forward to the 18th of September, which is a day after this video is coming out. So hopefully you will catch it in time. If not, I'm sure you'll hear about it. So once again, we continue with the hype, but this time for Cyberpunk 2077, and it's only a couple of months away now, less than a couple of months. Right, okay, and then finally I'm going to close off with my streaming. I was streaming on YouTube. I have now gone back to Twitch. This is primarily down to the fact that streaming seems to have a really negative effect on the number of impressions that are given for my videos that are produced through YouTube, and the two just seem to conflict with each other a great deal. So I have made the decision to move back to Twitch with my streams. For the time being, I'm only going to be streaming on the Wednesday. That is only just for a few weeks, just while we get everything sorted out again. And then I will be going back to streaming on Wednesdays and probably Saturdays, maybe Fridays. I haven't decided yet, but I will let you know in due course. So if you want to know about the Twitch streams, then obviously please join me on Twitter at Frosty's OP, or you can join our Discord. And on our Discord, we arrange multiplayer games, things like Planetfall, Space Engineers. I have now set up a corp in Dual Universe as well, so if you want to give that a try, then we'll be around for that as well. And that's pretty much everything for me. So hopefully give me a like if you enjoyed this, dislike if you don't, that's fine. Hit subscribe, and obviously hit the bell icon as well to get notifications of new releases. That's all from me. Thank you for watching. Until the next one. Bye.